I'm back with another deck profile. This one is for the replay video that I had just posted for the 6 Samurai Link Spam deck that is on my channel, the previous video to this. Some of you may have noticed that there's no deck profile on it towards the end after the replays, and that's because I decided that I was going to bring it to you in person with the physical cards, because it took me so long to put this deck together, and there was just so much bitching and blood, sweat, and tears that went into finding some of the cards in here, and I just wanted to show it off and do some replays after this. But nonetheless, let's get into the video. It's a very fun, very strong deck. It does lose to multiple hand traps, so you kind of have to be careful with how you play it. This is just kind of like the deck profile that won the he went X2 at that regionals or YCS, whatever it is. I don't remember what it was, but this is his deck profile, but it's a little tweaked to the way that I would play it, and the extra deck is a little tweaked, so I might as well show you guys. But if it looks a lot similar to that other guy's that's on 6 Samurai's YouTube channel, it pretty much is. So this is the ratios that I played for the deck. To Fuma, I don't really find a point in running multiples. I especially don't want to draw this in the opening hand. It's okay to draw with Kaigeki, but most of the time you just want to summon it off of the Link Girl. I definitely don't regret cutting this down to 2 Kaigeki. In the video, he said that he would play 2. He would take out 1 Kagemusha and put in 2 Kaigekis, and I was gonna do that anyways too. So I cut this. I put this to 2, which was really good. I actually might go to 3 with this card, because even if you open like 2 of him and you normal special himself, you can overlay for MX Saber Invoker, which gets you really, really far. The deck just needs to put bodies on board. This is like your front man. This is the one that has to come out first before anybody else. This is the one you want to see. 1 Kagemusha. He comes up sometimes when you want to make Nat Beast. I usually dojo him out with the Elder to make the Naturia Beast. He's a good tuner target too. You only run 1 of him because you only need 1 level 2. He doesn't really like come onto the field too often, except for by maybe Firewall's effect. Yeah, but him at 2 is too much. 1 Elder. I was gonna cut this, but I was realizing that I still needed to make the Naturia Beast, and this is the only Earth non-tuner that's in the deck. It's still a good level 3, because if you in the video you saw that I went second against the Herald guy, and I just specialed this, so it's just a free body that doesn't eat up your normal summon, and it's another name for making bigger Link monsters. Mizuho and Shinai, these were my favorite ever since the deck was a thing back in the day. This is a true combo in itself. I was moving cards off the field. Like I said, a lot of the times people were just scooping when they saw that I was playing this, or when they saw Gateway come down. So I didn't really get to show off like a whole lot of the replays that I had wanted to. But this one came up so much, even without him. But this is the way you want to do it: is getting both of these on board and then sacking, and then getting like Grandmaster back to your hand with this guy's effect. But this is just a too true of a combo. Hatsume, probably the more important one for after the Saryuja is set up. She's the strongest 6 Samurai, in my opinion, that's come out for this deck, being that she's a monster reborn. You banish 2 to summon 1. You're always going to have 2 in the graveyard. This is the one that I always go into after I make Saryuja. I'll special summon her from hand after drawing 4, probably getting the Dojo or the United or the Gateway, and then I summon her, and she's 2 free bodies. 1 Kizaru. I summon him off MX Saber mostly. I don't really use him after like maybe 1 time. You're mostly searching winds or waters, or the wind, water, or fire off of this guy. He doesn't really get you that far. The main ones that you want to search in the deck are Earth, so he automatically stops himself. But I did have a guy. Side note: if you play this guy and your opponent is playing Lair and you special summon him, they're all darks. So this can search for Kizan, which is super nutty. I did that in a replay, and I searched Kizan like 3 times. My main man himself, 3 Kizans. Just the main body of the deck. You always want to see him. He's the best name. 2 Grandmasters. I put in 2. I know you can only control 1, but 1 you can banish the extra copy off of her effect to special summon one from grave. So this is just another target to banish, and with 2, you're just like rotating them out while linking with them when you're using the gateway. One great Shogun. I actually probably want to put this card to 2 because just for the fact that you always have like 2 bodies. Your first play is putting 2 bodies onto the field, so just having this is just another name. Yeah, he's super good when you like firewall him out or something, or I even dojoed him out to get the lockdown on the field. But I was using him a lot for link summoning when I couldn't get myself to that last name for Saryuja. So this was just a really good body. I might bump that guy up to 2. Exodius, I actually am probably gonna cut this. I draw this so much. I draw this in Gateway like all the time in test hands. But I see his purpose, but I thought he was actually in the deck to shuffle the cards back so Gateway can search them. But it turns out Gateway searches from graveyard. So I was like, what's the point of this guy? But he did come up a few times, especially that one replay with the True Draco where I special summoned him and I shuffled everything back. And then I was able to get the firewall back into play and relink with him. But there's just some crazy combos you can do with him. So he'll stay. This is not Rhoda. A lot of people be like, this is not fair because you play 4 Rhoda. I play 1 Rhoda. But this is not Rhoda. Everybody that plays 6 Sams knows this is not Rhoda. This doesn't get you this, because the most important monster in the deck is level 4, and this does not get you there. This is good opening hand. I actually kind of want to cut this down to 2 and run something else, maybe like another Asceticism, because a lot of the targets, there's a lot of good targets for Asceticism. But this card is just like not as good as the reinforcements, because it doesn't net you as much as Rhoda would on its own. 2 Asceticism. I was playing 3, and then I cut it back down to 2 for the Upstart Goblin, but I might put 1 back in for the Smoke Signal. This card is fucking nuts. The best targets for this, by the way, are this. When it's at 21 attack from its own boost, you can bring Grandmaster out, or these 2 are targets for each other. So if you have like this in hand, you can like normal this or this, and then special via this, and then get this one out on the field, which is pretty dope. I like it. So 2 Asceticism, 3 United, 2 Dojo. I was gonna put this to 2 or to 3, but I don't like it that much. It puts another body on board, but it only really matters when you have like this on board, or when you like link with everything and you don't have a 6 Sam and you need to keep special summoning, so you sack this. Sometimes I would link with all my 6 Sams and not have a 6 Sam, so I wasn't able to special more 6 Sams from my hand, so this would come up once in a while. But I mostly use this to sack to get either Shogun out, or to get targets for my Nat Beast. And then the 1 Gateway, I open this card all the time. The combos you could do with it, like you can act, like in the video he said he Akashek'd it out by calling it, and I called it. I called this all the time, or I called this if I already had this, and it was just, there's some nasty combos. But you draw so much in this deck, like it's crazy. It's retarded how much you draw. This card is like accessible. Everybody's like, oh, but you gotta get to that. But the thing is, you always get to it. 1 Upstart, because, yeah, like you said, 39 is better than 40. 1 Broken Bamboo. That bitch expensive for no reason. 3 Cursed and 3 Gold. This bitch was hard as fuck to find. Thank you, Ruben. Shoutouts to Ruben, my friend. He gave me, or he traded me the swords. He got them off our locals, and then he managed to get them for me. But this card was so fucking hard to find. I don't like to buy online, so I had to search for this card myself. But this engine is like super necessary. I didn't even know about this engine until I saw this deck profile. This shit's fucking crazy. This gets you get the girl, this, dump this, get Fuma. Search for these. I draw these all the time, so it's like you always have a target. And the dope ass part is you can equip these before you link or synchro, and then when they're sent to the grave, you get one of these again. So you just like they're always like live for some reason. Foolish Burial Goods to put it into play. I was thinking about playing this at 2, but when I was testing it at 2, I was drawing it all the time and it was no use. But it's just a good one of like, if you see it, you see it. Reborn and Soul Charge. Opening these with your Saryuja on board generally nets you the win. When I go into Saryuja and I have all my bodies in the graveyard, the first thing I'll do is I'll soul charge everybody back, especially the Isold, and I'll link for Firewall and then start going from there, and it's just like some crazy like loops happening. On to the extra. For the extra, one Shein, one Nat Beast. Shein's obvious, Nat Beast is obvious. I just play 1-1 because I don't really find myself ending a board with like synchros. I know you're like, that's the point, but like I'm mostly like extra linking and stuff. I'm doing like extra shit than the way that he's playing his deck, I'm assuming. So I just play 1-1, and I mostly go into this if I can, but I don't really like see myself ending with this board. I actually like to end like a full extra link with like an extra proxy on the side for the Trigate or whatever, and then Shogun on the other corners to make it so that, like, if you're playing against like True Draco and they go Terraforming, that's their only spell for the turn. Just let it happen, and then they can't do anything else after that. One MX, I wasn't playing it because I forgot that he was running it for a while, and I was like, why can't I extend further? And then I put this in person. I was playing at my shop, and I was just making crazy boards. It was taking me between 11 and 14 minutes to make my boards because of like how much stuff you can do, and I was going as fast as I could, man. But like I said, I'm gonna have replays after this for like test hands in person, and you can see how long they take, and you can see like how the combos really work, and my mindset when I play the deck. One Linkaribo, he didn't play this, but I did. The reason I put this in is because Fuma is a 1, and let's say you open like Kaigeki Fuma Kizon, you can you can link for the Isold and stuff, and then like summon another Fuma, and then send the Fuma for this, and that's another name towards Saryuja. And then obviously we all know what this guy does. When he's in the graveyard, you can bring him back out. So if you actually end with like a Fuma, you can get like, I've ended with a board like Shein with the links, and then I'll summon Fuma from Handoff Firewall off the Synchro Summon, and then I'll summon this bad boy back, and this just protects Shein like even further. Also, when you have like when you open the Cursed Bamboo Swords and you need the draw power, you can actually equip them to Fuma and then link 1 for this, and then when the Bamboo Swords go to the graveyard, you get their effects to add the golden or the broken. The Isold, I play 1. I've never made 2 of her. I've never had a position where I made 2 of her. I was playing 2 forever, and I was wondering what can get cut. And I didn't even know I was playing 2 of her because I was only making 1, and I wasn't paying attention to the second one. So I took that bitch out, but she's so good. She's, like, necessary. But she's, like, so easy to get hit. Like, Ghost Ogre Ash stops her. That's why when I feel like they have the Ash, I always use her effect to search for a name, and they'll Ash it. And then I'll use her other effect to dump one. Because with 6-Ams, they don't think you're playing equips, so that you use the other effect. You dump a sword, and then you get the other sword, and you summon Fuma. But if you're going to add a name off of her, add like Elder or Shogun if you know you're not going to really go into them that turn, and that'll net you the bait for Ash Blossom. One Proxy and one Binary. I'm using this like how that guy said he was using it. When you point and they point like this, like they're like extra linked or whatever, she can give attack points to other monsters. So that's pretty dope. The Proxy Dragon was just kind of like an in-between step to getting Link 4s. When you have your board like Saryuja, Trigate, Firewall, you don't have a lot of room, so you have to make a 2 to go into a 4 if you want it. So I just put this guy in. This guy was so like necessary for like what I'm trying to do with the deck. I think I have a different end goal than that other guy or most guys when they play this deck. One Akashek, user as intended. You bounce Saryuja. In one of the replays, I made double Saryuja, and then I bounced him again, and I remade the Saryuja, and then I declared this. I got to like 4 cards left in the deck, and I still didn't draw Gateway. I did this. I searched Gateway. I couldn't get to it. And, like, I ended up, like, making, like, a worse board because all I wanted to do was get the Gateway to show how much I could draw. I drew out 36 cards or so, and then I put 3 back with, like, Saryuja, so I ended up having, like, 7, 8, whatever. But I still ended up drawing, like, 37 cards total, and I still didn't get to it. And even after doing her effect, I still didn't get to it. And it wasn't until I made the Nat Beast and stuff, and I milled it, and it was like, why? God, why? Best edition ever. The Nightmare Goblin. This boy good. This boy busted as fuck. if you get like Firewall, like if you open like Soul Charge, the Dank, whatever, and you like make your board, whatever you're doing your stuff, and you make like Firewall or Trigate or whatever, and you summon this bad boy, you have like a Cursed in your hand or something. You could dump it to draw one, and then get the Curse effect to search, or you could just like straight up like just dump a monster, normal summon. You have Kaigeki, which is such a big ass normal summon in the deck, and when you normal it to a zone effect, you could special summon the other one from your hand, and you just start popping up from there. This card could end up being like Firewall on his own. The Trigate, my boy, I make this every game. This guy nutty as fuck. I hated this bitch back in Spiral format. This bitch broken, I swear to God. Unicorn, I don't really have a reason why he's in the deck. He's just kind of good, just to be good. He's a removal. I've broken boards with this deck, and then at the last minute made this to shuffle like the last card back. I shuffled a Masterpiece back with this. This is like, it's just kind of like a good card. And if you're like if you manage to extra link, this can be on the top where Saryuja is to point down, so you don't give them any space. I'm gonna probably try to fit in more Troy Mares afterwards to try to do like the I-Bill combos. Griffin, this card's nutty too. When I make the proxy, like I said, I make proxy with 2 more, and this is how you make this one in the corner with Trigate next to it. But this shit is nutty too. If you're playing against anything other than True Draco, you pretty much lock them out of special summon. It's a skill drain at that point. And then your Shien is pointed to by Firewall, so your Shien's not negated. So this card is just like a really good going into card. I actually prefer to make this over Boardload, and he's easier because you only need 2 different names to make him. Firewall, I don't know why he's not banned. To be honest, if this is like Ancient Fairy 2.0, like, you know, Ancient Fairy is able to do so many crazy things, this does the same shit. This thing is crazy as fuck. You start getting synergy going. This is how I make synchros at the last minute. I'll start like getting them to the pieces to my hand. I'll start linking, synchroing, whatever, and then I'll get all of them to summon off this guy. I'll summon Fuma. Like Fuma will be in my hand. I'll link, and then I'll use his effect, summon Fuma, special keys on, and then that's Shien right there. Saryuja. This card I was playing at 1. If you're playing the deck and you want to build it, you only need 1. Because Akashek also can become a second Saryuja, being that, you know, she bounces the boy back and then you can remake him. But I'm only playing 2 because I wanted to try out what he said he was playing 2. This card is nutty at 2 because I do make it. You could just re-link into it. Like, you'll have your board, and then you'll be like, okay, there's like 10 cards left in my deck. I'm probably going to get the Soul Charge. So you can just make another one of these, and then draw 4, and then grab Soul Charge, put all the pieces, like the 6 hands you don't need that aren't normal summons, back into the deck, and then you could like get his special from hand again, or Soul Charge, and then you just like make a bigger board. So 2 is kind of necessary for the things I'm trying to do, but you only really need 1. This card is not necessary like as like, you know, an essential combo piece, not like the rest of the extra deck. So that's it for the deck profile. This deck is super crazy. This deck is super fun. I might take this one to Nationals if I go. This deck is crazy as hell. I love it. That shoutouts to the boy. I don't remember his name, but check him out. He's on Six Samurai's channel. This guy was so creative. I don't know if he made the deck or whoever, but whoever made it first, props to you. This deck is the shit. I swear to God, I love this deck. This deck is crazy as fuck. So next we're gonna have, if you want to stick around, we're gonna have, I'm gonna do test hands for the deck, so you can see like my mindset when I play the hands out, and how I do things with my build. That's it for the deck profile though.